You didn't have to worry about it in real time showing up. You were doing. You could do whatever you wanted to do. You had no proof. Did you see me? Were you there? There's no proof.
It's my word against yours.
Right.
Yes. So they have taken it, they monetized it, capitalized on it. But a lot of the people who actually ushered that whole thing in didn't really profit off of it. We are talking about something that is near and dear to us, because guess what? It's our era.
Yes, ma'am.
What era are we talking about?
Gen X.
The real Wakanda.
Yes. For sure. Been through a lot. The forgotten generation. Let's get into it. Those of you who don't know, we were born into the analog world. The age group is between 1965 and 1980. You are considered Generation X. Welcome to Wakanda. Welcome to it. This generation, we did not just experience change. Generation X learned how to function inside of constant change without much guidance, language support, or applause. So this is why we were unique. None. Yep. And I'm reading this out, but we're going to get down to the dirty. But I had to read this out because this is what we're doing. We were not nostalgic. We were not just cynical. We were not just whatever. We were the generation that had to translate the world while the world was changing underneath us. Yep.
Literally. So we call it the Wild West of the early internet. KayCee, what do you have to say about this part?
I know a lot of you out there. What about know anything about Limewire or Napster?
Yes.
That was the beginning of downloading a song, and not just an album, a single song.
Right.
So, yeah, I remember that was really, really popular. Limewire or Napster took 3 days to finish, or for it to be a virus that completely destroyed your family desktop. So,
right.
And then when the government came down on Napster and everybody was afraid to download any music.
Right. Because that was the first point to where musicians were literally losing money because we were able to download the music for free.
Right.
So they were losing out on record sales.
Yes.
Or CD sales, excuse me. But that was, so they were like, no, you got to shut this down. That was the first entrance to, major music industries, and the artists were losing money. So yeah, I do remember Napster. But wait, because when we were talking to Josh the other day, he said the gateway computer. I forgot all about the gateway computer.
I did too.
You had gateway.
And tell them what you would need it for, and they'd set it up directly, to your specifications. Yep.
Yeah, the cow-looking box.
They were, yeah. Yes.
Then all of a sudden, let's bring them into your homes. Then you had this big old clunky thing. Cannot believe, almost like cell phones. The big cell phone that we used to have, the one that you could hit somebody over the head.
The brick, they called it. Yes.
Yes. It was military style. You get into a fight with that, you're like,
I remember.
Yes. So we are very unique because we are right after the boomers.
Exactly.
Right before right before the millennial. So we're in the middle of the old way of doing things and the new way of doing things. And so we have a little bit of the old and we have the new.
Correct.
So it's kind of like an arc. We encompass both the old school and new school, literally. So that's what kind of makes us unique with the way we look at things. Like you said, the AOL, but I said the last time, Black Planet.
See, I don't remember that one.
You don't remember Black Planet?
No. I remember MySpace, but I never got onto MySpace because I didn't understand it. It was new. It was new.
It was new.
Right. The kids behind me were all on MySpace, but I didn't get it. I understood the concept, but the way that they were interacting with it, I was like, and to my defense, I was commuting. Yes, I was raising kids during that time period, commuting. So I was at work on a computer, but then when I came home, I was doing mommy things. No time for that. So when that came out, I'm like, what the hell is that? I understood Napster. Didn't have nothing to put it on, but I understood Napster.
I can't believe you didn't understand. I loved MySpace. Well, I love Black Planet because Black Planet, hashtag Black Planet, if y'all remember Black Planet. Put a hashtag Black Planet in the comments for us, please. Black Planet was created in 1990, 1999, something like that. MySpace wasn't created until 2003. They even credit that they bit MySpace, which was created by a brother, Omar, I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Omar.
Okay.
But he created the first MySpace, but it was called, and it was a place where you could find people outside of where you live. I actually met somebody on Black Planet, and
To
he lived
date?
in, not to date. That's a long story.
Okay.
Yes, I did meet a guy, and he was from North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. That introduced the whole world. That introduced me to a whole new world. You didn't really have to date or conversate with people in your local area. From my house, don't get no better than that. And then MySpace came.
Ah.
Good old days. Just looking at it, when we had those computers, did you take a computer safety class?
No, I didn't take a computer safety class, but I remember taking Word Perfect on the computer.
Oh my God. You are
Word.
really going back. Word Perfect.
Word Perfect.
There was no Microsoft Word.
That was a rough one. Yep.
It was a fun time to be alive.
Tell you what was even more fun with that. We didn't have the phones like we have now. The fact that we go out and do what we wanted to, act a fool, whatever that means to you. You didn't have to worry about it in real time showing up. You were doing. You could do whatever you wanted to do. You had no proof. If did you see me? Were you there? There's no proof.
It's my word against yours.
Right.
Unless you had a picture.
Yeah, well, trust me, the places I were, you didn't have Polaroids. Right. You didn't. Yep. There's another thing, a Polaroid now.
There you have to fan it.
Yep.
They have that today.
Well, old school, they've got, would not consider old school, but no, that was standard.
That was standard.
Yep.
And you had some money if you were able to get that, because normally it was on that, you call it the film. In high school, we had a photography class, and you had to learn how to develop the film in the dark room. Yeah,
I did that.
Gen X, y'all. Gen X.
Yeah, I did that, I did learn that in college.
Yeah. That's what we did. And so if you didn't see it, it did not happen.
That's right. And I hold to that even to this day.
Right. We went from the phone being on the wall, then you had the phone that set in some part of your house. You had the long extension cord, the long.
Oh God, yes. Right. You had that thing on the end so it wouldn't coil up.
Yes. So you had that, and then you went from that, like you said, you went outside. You didn't have no cell phone. Nothing. If you went outside, it was your responsibility. Your mama wasn't calling you talking about where you at. That light post that everybody talk about is truth. If that light turned on before you hit this house,
that's your ass.
That's your ass.
Or
so we didn't have to.
No. Also, what they would do, you had to be at the same time, be within shouting distance. Yes. So if she was on the porch and calling me, I need somebody in my little group, because we would get on our bikes and we would ride all over without supervision, people. There was no play dates. The date was when I got up in the morning, I went to Cindy's house.
Right.
That was what it was.
That's what it was. You rode your bikes, you rode on skates, you had skateboards.
Yep.
We had makeshift, what do you call go-karts? We had go-karts that we used to play with.
We weren't doing that.
Yeah, I had boy cousins, so they used to make go-karts. We used to race go-karts. But yeah, you didn't have to. I didn't have to put on a thing to find you, track you. You just had your ass in here.
No trackers.
School. My mom didn't have to call and be like, "Are you at the house? Are you doing your homework? Did you clean the dishes? Did you clean up?" Da 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 da. That stuff happened, because guess what? If it didn't, and she came home from a hard 8 hours,
that was your ass. Yeah. No, we caught when we were all latchkey kids. So we ended up, when I came home, first of all, even though we weren't supposed to put nobody in the house, I had to call my parents at work. One of them I had to call. It was mainly my mom. That was the designated person. And I had to call her, let her know I was home. Period.
Exactly. It was simple. Simple stuff.
It was.
And even in the summertime, when you didn't go to school, you got to stay out a little bit later because it was summertime.
Yeah.
It's nice outside. They let you stay out a little bit later. You didn't have to go to school. Your parents knew where you were. Your parents knew what you were doing. Or like you said, if you were out of earshot and somebody knew your mama, and knew where you was, your mama calling you. You better go home. Your mama out there yelling your name.
And that means you're too far away. That was their boundary line. If I can't hear my parents calling me, I'm too far. So what I would do periodically, we would go far. We come back. Hey, find some reason to pop your head in. But you couldn't do it too much,
because you keep coming in and out of this house, you're going to stay.
You're going to have to stay.
And they really didn't
Exactly.
want you to stay. They really wanted you out. So that was their way of saying, I really don't want you here. But if you keep coming back in here, you're going to stay.
Well, that was training. So they trained you. So you know, if you didn't get it, you're going to have to stay in. So the next time you get to go out, you know, I ain't going in the house. No, I ain't going. So that meant when you fall and scuff your knee or you got some type of scratch, you just went to the water hose.
Yep. Yep. And you ran the water right over it. That was it.
Because mama said, if I go and show this to mama,
yep,
I got to stay in.
Oh God, I remember that. And so just so you didn't go back in the house, but you sometimes let them know that you're still around so you can go back further where you wanted to go. You played in front of the house. You made kind of noise so they can know that you were here. Yep. And that's kind of like your way of checking in. And then you go around cross town again on your bike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
It was fun. It was fun time. And when that was before computers. So the computer part didn't happen until what I want to say I was in high school, maybe out of high school. I think.
I mean, as far as being in your household.
Yeah, in the household. I don't think I had any of that in the household when I was going to school. It wasn't until after I graduated from high school.
I was grown and I had my own place. I had my computer then.
Yeah. I didn't have my own place, but I remember having a pager because that was pre-cell phone.
Oh God, yeah,
I had little pagers,
and he had the little numbers made certain codes and all this other kind of stuff. Oh my God,
143, I love you.
Okay, I couldn't even. I don't even remember any of those.
707 was laughing out loud. The ones that I remember. I don't remember too much.
Yeah, I don't remember any. But then here's the thing: you still had to find sometimes a payphone.
Payphones existed, y'all.
Yeah,
you got to put money in it. Quarter, dime, nickel.
Yep.
I remember that too because pagers, payphones, being in Oakland at the gas station on 51st and High Street. It was these two gas stations.
Oh,
the spot used to be hot. That's where everybody congregated after parties or just being in Oakland in general when you're young. Mm-hmm. The dudes that wanted to talk to you, I'm going way back, they would ask you for your number and you give your cell phone number. And they go to the payphone and call the cell phone number to see if your pager.
I had a pager, but I didn't really utilize it the way everybody else did because I had to find a phone.
The phone booth would be right there.
Yeah. I remember when you're talking about the phone booth, there was, I don't know, this was the skating ring in San Leandro. For those of you that are local, it was the skating rink right next to Bayfair Mall. In San Leandro.
Okay.
Folks would be there and everybody would be on the phone because the phone would always be off the hook. The pay phone was always off the hook because they were always on the phone talking. They're like, hold on. I remember one time my brother and I were at the skating ring. I don't know, some little party function, but then you had teenagers. He saw the phone was dangling. He went and hung it up. It's like, dude, get away from over there.
You hung up somebody's call?
Just like, come on, get over here. But because he was a little boy, he got away with it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But yeah, I remember being there. San Leandro.
I don't remember San Leandro Bowl, but 51st Street, High Street in Oakland. Yes, I remember that vividly.
See, I was more of a North Oakland person, closer to Berkeley.
You were close to Berkeley. Yeah. I had a boyfriend that lived off 41st and Telegraph. So right over on the cusp where you walk right around the corner and there was MacArthur BART station.
Oh, okay. You were that. I was further out. Yeah, I remember.
Those were fun times. And then when you got to have the cell phone, that's what we were talking about, the bricks, those big elongated.
Well, those weren't those really just home phones, but they were just cordless?
No, these were cell phones.
Okay, because I remember the one guy I was dating at the time, he had one and I thought it was really cool because it was cordless. And I went into my car and I called my dad. I was like, I'm on a cordless phone. And it was like 2 a.m. He's, are you okay? You're not hurt? No. And he hung up. But I didn't realize it at the time. You don't call your parents at 2. No parent wants to get a phone call at 2 a.m. He probably was staring at the phone, scared shitless because I was out. And then I'm calling him about a cordless phone.
Those are that's when we were in the tech era. So when tech was happening, this is us growing up. When tech was happening, pagers, sidekicks, the one where you type on it. Then the BlackBerry. Well, no, then you had the Block one. Then it got smaller and smaller. What was it the NEC phone, the Nokia,
Oh, I had Nokia.
the
Didn't know how to program it
Motorola?
for shit, but I had Nokia.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
I remember most of this because I actually, one of my jobs was working for, at the time, it was called GTE MobileNet, but
Oh,
GTE
damn.
MobileNet
Okay.
bought out by, now it would be Verizon. So it
Okay.
was eventually sucked into Verizon.
At one point something was Singular Cellular, right?
Singular Cellular was is now what you would call,
Is it T-Mobile?
not T-Mobile. It would be AT&T.
Okay.
Because I think it was Singular Mobile, which got bought out by Cellular One, and Cellular One ended up going into AT&T.
Okay.
I was in telecom for a minute because of working at GT. And one thing I did love about working for those places is because you got the latest phone. So that's how I knew all these different phones, because as soon as a new mobile phone would roll out, they would give it to the employees. You would call, I forgot what they call them, but they were like phones that they would give to your employees, because that was you were their walking marketing, basically.
Oh, okay. It was cheaper to do it that way than have ads. Okay.
So it was easier. They had ads because we had it and we're out going places. And
Absolutely.
people see you with a new phone. What is that? That's a new phone? And so, yeah. So that's how I got into the mobile telecom industry.
Oh,
But yeah,
dang.
just to see the progression of us, it's so amazing.
Oh man, I know. I'm just kind of picking and choosing as I go through here because it's hitting me. But what about back in the day when you had to schedule? You had a TV guide, and you got it weekly, or when you went grocery shopping, they were in the rack, and you'd pick it up for that week.
Right by the aisle.
Yes, and you would look and see what the TV shows were and the various channels it was on. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm going way back since we're talking about TV.
But all these things helped you with your memory, right?
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it helps you with your memory, or what they call it, cognitive. Just a lot of things that they utilized back then.
Yeah.
To help you. And even with, like, on Saturdays, what do we have on
Schoolhouse
Saturdays?
Rock.
Schoolhouse.
Yep. Schoolhouse Rock.
Educational.
It was really good. Even some of those songs I still know today. I'm not going to sing them, but I still know them today.
Conjunction Junction.
What's your function?
And my favorite one, I Am Only a Bill.
Oh yeah. How about the number 8 is 2 times 4? If you can skate, it would be great. Okay, yes, yeah, I know all those. Yeah.
Those were our that's the stuff that taught us
that it's a number that turns around upon itself. Anyway,
right?
Okay. Which means it's infinity. So you also learned about infinity, because if it's outside of itself, it's infinity. But I digress.
No, that's true. These were all things that they created for latchkey kids.
Yeah.
To be honest, because we were raising ourselves. Parents worked, single parents. Some had to work more than one job, right?
Yeah.
But these were all things that helped you learn.
Oh, absolutely. And if you missed any of those shows, you just missed it.
You just missed it. It wasn't there's no DVR.
No.
There's no box where you can rewatch it. You just hope that they replayed that episode again.
Yeah, you might see it maybe 6 months later during hiatus and it was a repeat. You didn't have all these. When the season was over, it was over. You knew it was over. It wasn't 6 months, the season is over. Now you got the new season. It's like, wait a minute, didn't you just
Or it wasn't any binge watching, because now a new season can come and you could just binge watch it in one night.
And see, case in point, there's a couple of shows that I know that have started. I'm purposely not watching them because how dare you make me wait a week? So I'm not watching it at all. And I'm going to just binge it. That's what we got in. That was a novelty when that first came out like that. And then now it's expected. I can't tell you the last time I really saw a commercial.
That's another thing. Commercials came on. You couldn't fast forward through them.
No.
So if you had to go to the bathroom, if you had to go
wait 90 seconds because it was coming back.
There is no pause.
Nope.
Right?
Nope. Nothing. Not at all.
We were conditioned.
Oh my God. If you think about it, all the commercials, I'm going to think way back, but no, it was geared towards the wife that was home, the homemaker. Basically, that was what was mainly in the household. That's what they were selling. That's why they called them soap operas.
But what that caused was, and what's different now is everybody watched TV at the same time. So
yes.
During that time frame, everybody was sitting down in whatever household at the same time.
Yep.
Watching the same show.
Yep.
Then you go to work and you
talking about that
go to school, you're talking about the same show.
Yep.
Now it's fractured because you can watch it whenever you want.
Oh yeah. You can watch it on your lunch break.
You can watch it on your lunch break. It's fractured. It's not the same anymore. It doesn't have it the way it used to. That's why I don't get into it like I like back then. It's just not the same anymore.
Because Miami Vice was the shit back in the day.
Don Johnson and
Michael
Thomas.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah, he's all looking like Santa Claus. Got the beard and stuff.
He looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah. So I was working at the mall back then. Malls were popular. Now they're like great sites, basically. I worked there. Friday nights I would get off. I think I got off at 9:00. I forget. And Miami Vice came on at 9. Let me tell you, I burned up the highway to get home to see Miami Vice. I didn't get to see the intro because that was the premise of everything. But I still, I raced my ass home to see Miami Vice.
Now we're talking about, what is that? Is that the 80s, late 80s, 90s?
Oh, yeah, right? 80s, man. Yep.
Yeah, so we're talking MTV.
Yep.
All that music. Because even back then, Don Johnson looked good.
Back then, yeah. Did he really? Because when I saw some old ones, I'm like, huh.
Back then when you were younger,
they all did.
He was a looker.
Yeah. Yep. And then it's like, also a lot of the things, still talking about TV and stuff, you would go to Blockbuster.
Yes.
On Friday nights. I remember I saw Boys in the Hood in the movie theater, but then they were coming out on Blockbuster. And I was like, I wanted to take off work to make sure that when it opened, I would be able to get it.
You get exactly.
Yeah, I didn't. I had to go to work, obviously. I got off work. Of course, they were all gone.
That was like buying Jordans. You had to, when a certain movie came out and hit Blockbuster, you wanted to make sure you were the first ones to get, because they only had so many out there to grab, because you had to grab the box, right? And then you go up to the front and then they give you the actual tape to put in there.
Tape
to put in there.
Yep.
Oh my God, you are bringing back memories.
Yeah, I remember that. God. Then you get there and what you really wanted was gone. So now you got all these B films. You're like, oh shit, the Attack of the Potato or some bullshit. And you got that with pizza, and it's okay.
They had the snacks there. They had the popcorn. They had the milk duds. They had the M&Ms, all that. Just like a little movie place.
I'll tell you, I remember when CDs came out, because we were already with the cassette tapes.
Yeah.
When CDs came out, I remember one was like $25 a CD, and that was uncalled for. Was just wrong on so many levels. Nobody understood how that was going to work, how that was going to play. Then they have big ones that look like albums, and those didn't really go over well. But yeah, I remember when my oldest was real little, and I forget what they were calling laser disc.
Laser disc. Okay.
Yeah. So I remember she and I were in the one store called Leopold's. It was a laser disc, and my daughter was like, "Those are really big CDs." And the guy that was right next to us, he started laughing. He laughed to himself, but I could see him kind of snicker. But yeah,
that blast from the past, right?
Yeah.
And you would go to Leopold's. That's where out here, Leopold's was in Berkeley. So you go to Leopold's. You'll make it a night of it. The nightlife out there was fun. And then they had Blondie's Pizza. Blondie's Pizza, Leopold's, hang out. That's when it was cool to be out.
Yeah, because you were just hanging out.
You're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Meet people in Leopold's looking through the albums, looking through your CDs. That's fun.
Then you had the used section. There was another record store around the corner from Leopold's. Oh, Rasputin's. There we go.
Yeah, Rasputin's.
Yeah.
Rasputin's is still open, I believe. Do you remember Durant Square?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
It's
Durant still there.
Still exist? Is it?
I heard it's still there.
I gotta go over there.
No, I ain't going. You let me know. I ain't going.
No way. I gotta see that. Durant Square, that's where most people went. If you didn't have the money, you hit Durant Square.
Yeah.
That's where you get your club outfits.
They were only good for about one night.
Church outfits, right? It's church dresses. Like your Steve Harvey zoot suits.
Yeah.
You went to Durant Square.
A couple of things. So the food that we ate when we were in school, I don't know what they do now with kids, but we would have those rectangle pizza slices, and you would have mashed potatoes and gravy. We didn't get chocolate milk. I know some people did, but you had milk, and that was pretty much it. You would smell the food cooking. They had
that actually cooked
the food.
Yeah. They actually cooked the food. It didn't come in cans. Actually peeled potatoes.
Unless they're doing sauce or something. But 'cause I went to public school, you had a couple of cans.
Right.
But yeah, you had spaghetti. So you ate.
You had chicken, you had peas, you had green beans, you had
Yep.
mashed potatoes.
None of
You
this
had all
other stuff.
that.
I don't know what the kids eat now. I don't even know if they even have that.
Chicken strips, pizza. A lot of the stuff is in a can, so if they do make it, it's a lot of canned stuff. They will throw in a salad optionally and some apples or carrots or something like that.
Oh,
My
no, we didn't have that. I don't think I had
Yeah,
a carrot on a plate since I was going there.
but they did. They used to they used to actually cook the food. That is so crazy. They would cook breakfast. You get French toast or some pancake, bacon, eggs. I don't know if you
Oh,
get that stuff these
no,
days.
I didn't go for breakfast. That wasn't an option when I was going to school. But yeah, I remember what was one of the things. Oh my God, this is just flooding back, just all kinds of. Okay, this is more on the financial side of it. I'm just skipping around, just things that are coming to me, but
Oh, that's coming to your head?
just stuff we had talked about, but it's just all flooding here. Now
Right.
it's more obsolete to even have a checkbook.
Oh,
I remember learning how to balance a checkbook, all of that kind of stuff.
I ain't had a checkbook. God knows how long. The
Now,
last time I wrote a check was helping my grandmother and my mother.
well, see, and that's just it. I still have to help my mom with the
Yeah.
certain things that she'll write a check for. But I remember when they started to stop the whole check thing and you started to the next phase and had to go digitally. That
Mhm.
was rough for me. I was like, oh my God, I need my checkbook. Because if you're writing a bill, okay, maybe I'm the only one, but if you're writing a check for a bill and you happen to rip the number
Oh,
of
yeah.
the check, that gave you
Yeah.
a couple of extra days for that money to hit your account if you knew you didn't have money in the bank. Well, yeah, because what would happen, you would take the check and it would go through a manual feeder when they process it at the bank. But if it's ripped or defaced in any way, it kicks it out and then it needs to be manually processed.
See, I didn't know nothing
And
about
that
all that.
added an extra day.
Lord, see, the tricks of the trade.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. No, but I definitely
Yeah.
like it was yesterday. Think about it, how things have evolved to where now, like I said, if I'm wearing my watch, I just wave it over that little thing
Right.
and I paid for my groceries.
Now that sounds so crazy from you because you just said you didn't like the change.
I
Now you
don't.
just all for it.
I didn't. I didn't.
You just putting your hand over it.
Now
I don't even do that.
I just take my watch. Boop. There you go.
I don't even do that.
Yeah.
I just take my phone and go boop.
I do it too, but sometimes depending on where I'm going, it's more advantageous for me to have my watch. And again, just to make sure nothing gets lifted, depending on where I'm going, I just pay
Right.
it with my watch and just
God.
call it a day. Because I remember kind of going back a little bit, but when we were talking about the whole phone thing, I remember there was an article that came out talking about having the ability down the road to talk and be like we have the phones now that you can see somebody when you're talking.
Right.
When they said how many years from now or whatever, you'll be able to see the person that you're talking to. And everybody was like, well, damn, now I got to get all dressed up just to be on the phone.
Oh
Because
God.
that's we were thinking, it's like, how are you going to do that? That makes no sense. Now I'm like, just text me. I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you like that.
You're like, I don't know.
But yeah, and it's amazing because it was weird when I was a little kid talking to my uncle that lived in Florida. And I thought that was amazing. And then here it is when I was in Japan, I'm doing FaceTime and showing my grandkids real time what it looked like where we were in Japan.
Right.
Oh my God. So sometimes it's mind boggling to know where we've come from a phone that was stuck to the wall to now this picture that I'm looking at.
Exactly. But it's not as hard to digest as someone like your mom or your grandmother who
Right.
came into this age and they're like, I don't want to touch that. Like
Grandma didn't even
my-
like calculators. Okay. She figured that makes you lazy. But then she was a school teacher. So she felt you were lazy if you were using it. No, I need to use my brain. And she did.
my grandmother, the same way. She wrote her checks out.
Yeah.
And she wrote them out the first of the month, balanced her registry in her checkbook.
Yep.
And made sure that she mailed it out.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at her like, are you crazy? And she used to make me do it for her sometime. Come here, sit down.
Yep, we had to do it. I remember when my parents were in the process of getting divorced, it was just me, my dad, and my brother, and I would be in charge of the bills. He was working. And again, stuff that we had to do when we were younger. I think I was in the 7th grade and I was doing the bills, having to keep a ledger and all this other kind of stuff. Yep.
That's crazy. It's very unique. Gen X, we brought in the culture, urban culture, hip hop culture. We had companies, what was it? Carl Kanai,
Yes.
Boo, Crisscross. Then when we didn't have these were Black owned establishments, but we also took Gucci, MCM. Those are very luxury brands.
That one I wasn't familiar with.
Right. Fendi. We would take those luxury brands and put them on our style.
Oh, don't forget Timberlands. You had to remember Timberlands.
And that made those companies, even though they were luxury companies and they were making money, they made more money off of us making their product trendy. You know what I'm saying? Very trendy. We made rapping. What do they do now? I can't find too many commercials that don't have some type of jingle, rap, something, some type of cultural appropriation.
Hell, sometimes you got the rapper in sometimes in the commercials sometimes.
Yes.
I've seen that.
Yes. Yes. So they've taken it, they've monetized it, capitalized on it. But a lot of the people who actually ushered that whole thing in didn't really profit off of it. Even when you come down to here, liquor, Hennessy, Cisco. Jack Daniels, Cisco, all this stuff in videos, music videos.
Boone's Farm,
Strawberry Hill.
Yes.
Yes. All that stuff. We set the tone for what commercials are now, the commercialization of all this stuff. Yeah. None of that stuff existed in baby boomer time. It came during the Generation X. We ushered all of that in, that whole culture. Do you know how many companies, major organizations profited off all of that? Of dollars.
I remember, the first mainstream wrestling, because there's a lot of underground, but the first mainstream that I remember was Sugar Hill Gang.
Yes.
Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight.
That was what the full version was, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
that's when they didn't. Your attention span was long.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember I could say the whole thing. And of course, what parents say, well, if you put that much interest in your schoolwork as you did your singing, if you call it singing, which it wasn't, parents, you'd be an A+ student.
That was Rapper's Delight. My mother, that was the first rap album she bought. And then the second one was, I want to say Houdini.
Yeah,
she had Houdini.
They were out, but then I didn't really get into rap as much until I met my husband, because Rapper's Delight was Rapper's Delight was about the main one that I knew. And a lot of the other ones I knew. And he introduced me to 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Dirty down in Florida. Okay. Miami.
Yeah.
Not 2 Live Crew. So you didn't, oh my God. Hip hop was my life.
Well, I just, again, where I grew up, they were singing it and doing it, but I listened to a whole bunch of different stuff. So if that wasn't the main thing. So until I really got with him,
R&B.
I was R&B. And then I liked, back then, Journey was popular. My sophomore year in high school. Journey, Foreigner 4, Put the Police, all of that.
Okay, so you definitely, we had that. So you're talking about MTV when you combined.
I guess you could say the MTV stuff, yeah. The Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's, yeah.
Them, Joan Jett, Cyndi Lauper,
Joan Jett, Black Hearts, and the Black Hearts.
Yeah, and then she eventually went off on her own.
Yeah,
but yeah, John Cougar Mellencamp, all of them.
John Cougar Mellencamp, Duran.
Yeah,
had all that, the MTV days when all of that ushered in. But when they start bringing the regular hip hop, Big Daddy Kane,
then I kind of got to know all of them. But I remember when they did not even have Black people on MTV. I remember it was Meatloaf.
Yes, I remember Meatloaf.
Yeah, they had all the other ones, and so Michael Jackson, I believe, was the first one.
Yeah, pop culture. Yeah,
and then I remember seeing Rick James on there. I saw him a lot in concert.
Prince.
But Prince was a little bit later. Yeah, but I remember when there was no Black people on MTV. There was no Yo MTV Raps. It was nothing.
I know, Yo MTV Raps.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yep, that Ed Lover and all of them. Yeah, I remember.
Yes. All of them. Yeah. That's when you ushered in, and that was mostly East Coast
Yes.
rap. Yeah.
Remember
So
the
there
Ed
was
Lover
a
dance?
committee. Okay. He went,
Yep.
hey. Yeah, I remember Ed Lover. That was, you had Fat Boys, you had Kid and Play, then you had Cool G Rap, you had Kumo D, LL Cool J, you had all that stuff.
Yeah, all of
That
them.
was all the East Coast. And then they ushered in when they started letting NWA, the West
Yep.
Coast. And that's when it ushered in a
EPMD.
whole new era.
All of them.
EPMD.
Yeah.
Yep. DOS
Yep.
Effects.
Yep.
All of that stuff. I'm going down memory lane, but I can remember all of this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But again, that's what catapulted MTV.
Yep.
Right.
And that's when a lot of the underground rappers started coming up. And
Yep.
what do you call it? The underlayer of what you have to the, as I call it, mush mouth of the stuff today. I don't even listen to it.
At the end of the day, we went from analog to digital. We went to cash to digital wallets, appointment TV to streaming.
Yes.
That's just the devil.
Yeah.
Mixtapes to algorithms.
Yep.
A human memory to search engines. So you ain't got to remember too much. You can just go backwards and be like, what did I just?
Don't forget the designer clothes that we would wear.
Yeah, Gloria Vanderbilt.
Calvin's.
Like Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
What was my other? Jordache, Calvin Klein, Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yep.
You was the stuff if you came to school and you had those.
Yeah, that was more like the high school kind of stuff, though. Elementary school, we didn't have that.
I had it in elementary school.
Oh, damn. Okay. No, I had, the closest I got was like 501s.
501s I had in high school.
Yeah. Because 501s, and now they got, I don't know, 727s. I don't know what the hell they got now. There was only one kind of jeans that you got at the Gap. It was 501s. You either got shrink to fit or they relaxed or whatever, but it was still 501. Now they got all these names and numbers. No.
We took y'all down memory lane.
Yeah.
So what would you say with regards to Gen X? What in your mind does Gen X mean to you, being brought up in the era of Gen X?
You weren't coddled for sure. You had to make it work, period. Yeah. And again, there's always, everybody's household was different. But again, you were outside, you played. You get a little dirt on you, you'll live. It's okay. We actually played in dirt. You knew what it was to, like I said, you had to use all of your senses. First of all, you had to use also common sense, because if your ass didn't come in when you were supposed to, that was your ass. You had to be able to maneuver. Your parents gave you a note. You know what that means? Go buy me some cigarettes. You were trusted, not even trusted. You were told to go to the store. This is what you had to get.
Yep.
And bring back my change. You had to figure that out one way or another. You got to explore. You were probably some areas you shouldn't have been. Looking back now, you probably could have died, but you lived. It wasn't, I might even see it with my family sometimes. What do you want to eat? No, that really wasn't. It was more rhetorical with my family. What do you want to eat? This is what we're going to have. And if that's not what you want, then you won't be eating. That kind of thing.
That's true.
We had to make it work, period.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that. I thought about that being from Gen X and then living where I live in Gen X. You had to be visible, but also not visible. So you had to learn how to be seen, but not heard.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes.
You couldn't you had to sneak and listen to conversations, right? Because if you get caught, stay out grown folks' business. Take your butt outside or go take your butt upstairs. You didn't get to soak it all in. If you did, you got to sneak and soak it all in.
Yeah. They were like, oh, I didn't know you were sitting here. Girl, get up out of here.
Yes.
And it's funny. I've had to tell my granddaughter to shut up instead of grown folks conversation and go sit down, because these kids now, they see everybody talking or communing, that it's an invitation for them to join in. She was sitting a few feet away, but I was talking to another adult and she wanted to throw her 2 cents in. So we both stopped and turned our head like, who the fuck are you? Who is this over here? Immediately, I'm like, ain't no kids over here. Shut up, go use the bathroom, go sit by the door until I get ready to go.
The only time you got to be around adults was to entertain the adults. That's what you sung, you danced, you did something to be, if you wanted to be in the crowd with the adults, you had to entertain.
Yeah, you didn't
didn't just get to sit there and happenstance and just soak in all the conversation.
And you didn't speak unless you were spoken to.
That's another thing. We learned how to be very respectful. Mrs. So-and-so, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. We came from the era of, you learned how to code switch. So there was a way you spoke at home
Yep.
It was the way you spoke outside.
Yep.
Then that became after the way you spoke outside or at school, you still had the code switch and there was a way for you to speak when you got a job. There's a way for
Yeah.
you spoke when you were at your job. You didn't speak, you didn't tell certain things that went
Didn't mix
on.
the two.
That, you did not mix the two.
No.
You just didn't. And when you look at everything that we learned with regards to technology and stuff like that, we came up in an era where you heard about wars or wars were going on. We got the scare of the wars. Remember when you had to, in elementary school or junior high, middle school, you learned the get under your desk.
That was
If there
more
was gonna
when
be
it was an earthquake. We had to get under the
or
desk.
if there was going to be some type of like bomb or something like that. That's all they could give you. They couldn't tell you anything. What they gonna tell you? Get under your desk. Or if you weren't in the classroom or you had to get underneath the door thing, which
the door jam area.
That didn't make no damn sense. Like that was gonna be the only thing standing if something happened. But okay. But those are the things that you were told. Then we grew up with, even though we had the internet, we also had Terminator, scared you about the future of technology and it's going to take over the Sarah Connors of the, but when you look at things, the way things are nowadays with regards to the internet and like my son, I'll give you an example. My son has no problem with putting your face up and having your face as to open up your phone or putting your finger on it and having it take me, because I grew up in the age that I grew up in. I'm not giving you my voice willy-nilly. I'm not giving you my fingerprint willy-nilly. And I'm not giving you my face willy-nilly because I don't know where this stuff is stored and when it's going to be used against me. That's what the age that I grew up in.
Oh, Lord. Now, I don't do the eyes. I do the fingerprint.
Where's it
stored?
Only
mainly
who has
because
access to it?
One of the reasons, because I get tired of having to think of all these damn passwords. Just here we go.
Now they have it for me where they have like passcodes that they create for you. And it changes every so often. So all I have to do is put in my code from my phone and it automatically opens my stuff. But my iPhone's still asking me for my face. I'm like, the hell if I hear you ain't getting face nothing.
No, I don't have an iPhone. So as of right now, I don't have that part. It's an option. So I just use my fingerprint.
It asks for my fingerprint too. No, I don't even like giving it at DMV. If I could get my dang license without it, I wouldn't put my finger on nothing. Why do you need it? Where's it going? Who has access to it? So yeah, that's my that's my my sci-fi-ness. I watch too much sci-fi in my life.
I see. Oh my God.
Yeah. You would think I wouldn't, the way I love AI, but AI don't ask me for my face to open up nothing.
Oh geez.
I ain't doing it.
Okay, ma'am.
This was fun though. Well, hopefully you guys learned a lot. Not learned, but reminisced.
Yeah.
It's more so reminiscing about Gen X, the forgotten generation, because we could do it for our damn selves. Because we were brought up to
I'm
do it
even
for
thinking
our
of
damn
candy
selves.
that we didn't even hit. We didn't even hit the candies.
Right. But we had a candy lady in our neighborhood.
Oh, is that one of them houses you go to and they got all the candy? Okay. I've read about those things. I've seen it on TV.
Y'all, KayCee was brought up bougie. She was brought up bougie.
Those that know me, they grew up in the same area. They were nothing bougie. We just didn't have a candy house. That's all.
We had a candy lady. We had a candy lady, and then we had an icy lady in the neighborhood where she would make icy.
No.
I would never allow my child to eat an icy these days. But back then,
wait, they couldn't knock on the bedroom door and they got an icy and a Snickers bar to go with it? No,
I would never allow that these days because you don't know what's in it. You really didn't know what was in it back then. But back then it was Kool-Aid, red, purple.
Yeah.
That's what you had. Cherry, strawberry, grape. And you put it in the styrofoam cup and you bit the styrofoam off and you're trying to suck the juice out the icy.
Through the styrofoam cup?
Yep, through the styrofoam cup. We had the icy lady.
Lord. Okay.
Well, icy lady and the candy lady.
If you know, you know. And he's sucking on styrofoam. Oh, that's healthy.
Sucking on. I'm telling you. I mean, we put our mouths on freaking hoses. Ate dirt. And we're still here.
I know. And that I did. We did that. Yeah.
It's been fun to go back down memory lane and just reminisce on how we grew up. Let us know in the comments, does anything resonate with you? Do you remember any of these things from your childhood? If you were born Generation X, remember 1965 to 1980. If you're born during that time frame, exactly what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy going down memory lane with regards to.
I have fun.
Like, share, subscribe. Put something in the comments about your youth. Love to hear from you. Until the next one. Bye.